Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also, share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link to you down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms, and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Thursday night, Jets-Browns. Jets-Browns, they're going to be on the tube, all right? Come on and join your boy. We're going to watch the game together. We're going to have a lot of fun right here on this channel, Jets-Browns. Let's join each other, man, and have a blast, all right? Let's have a blast. So, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about a couple things, okay? One of them being Duane Brown. We're also going to be discussing Aaron Rodgers as well and the roster spot controversy. Wow. And we're also going to be talking some Jets-Browns, okay? Happy holidays to everyone. I hope everyone's enjoying their times with their families. I wish you nothing but a warm and safe holidays, all right? I've been spending some time with my loved ones, and I come back and this falls right up on my desk, okay? Right up on my desk. We're going to start off with Duane Brown. Duane Brown is officially on IR now. He's been dealing with a back injury, and that means he's done for the season, all right? We know he spent some time earlier on IR, decided, hey, put him back on and said and done. He's not going to be playing for the rest of this season. Now, this is something that I talked about coming into this season that we're in now. I think the biggest mistake the New York Jets made was believing that Duane Brown could be their starting left tackle for the rest of the season, right? He was on the PUP most of the offseason up until I think the week of the Giants game, which was the final game of the preseason. And he was basically gift wrapped the left tackle position, came into the season, and the offensive line as a whole was horrific. And a big part of that was that Duane Brown didn't even have the time to gel with the guys that he was going to be playing with. He was in a brand new scheme, Nathaniel Hackett's offensive scheme, brand new here. He never really practiced with the guys all offseason until it was time, for them to pretty much play. Because, again, he didn't really show up until, like, the week of, the last week of the preseason. And it was just a complete mess. And I've talked to people about this constantly. And Duane Brown, he also spent time on the IR last year. He was hurt last year, too. He only played 12 games last year. Then you fast forward to this year, he only plays 5, and then he's back on IR again. So that was a mess. I think it was a big mistake by the New York Jets. I talked about it being the biggest mistake because once that domino fell, everything else just went awry for us offensively. As we know, the line struggled the first game against the Bills. They couldn't protect Aaron Rodgers. Duane Brown, actually, his cut block, the guy that he was supposed to block, was the guy that actually ended up, jacking up Aaron Rodgers and pretty much effectively ended our season that night with our starting quarterback going down. So it was just, this is rough. I think the Jets are going to cut him in the offseason, move on. The New York Jets must address the offensive line this upcoming offseason. It's going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Because people want to get rid of Mekhi Becton. People also going to get rid of Laken Tomlinson. Okay, cool. You're going to have to draft a starting left tackle, a starting left guard. You also got to look, you don't have a right tackle worth of crap, right? There's a big hole there. That's 3 guys you have to replace. And also, as much as I love ATV, think we need to put him back at right guard. ATV hasn't been healthy in 2 years. So you're going to have to draft his replacement as well. That's 4. That's 4 guys that you're going to have ready to go. Keep in mind, next season, a lot of people have Super Bowl expectations. So at least 3 of the guys, that left tackle, that right tackle, and that left guard, are going to have to be ready as much as possible. They're going to have to be the closest to the finished product to be able to compete with the Eagles and that Eagles front that's just absolutely destroying people. The Bosas. You're going to have to compete with these top pass rushers, and they're going to have to do that as rookies. That's going to be a tall task. That's going to be a tall task, okay? So, but the Jets must address the offensive line and have got to get it done. And also paying for offensive linemen in free agency. that gets very expensive too. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they shore up this issue. But here we are, Duane Brown on IR. All right. Aaron Rodgers and the roster spot controversy. I do not see why people are making such a big deal about this, but here we are. Okay, for those of you that may not know, let me go ahead and give you the backstory. Aaron Rodgers was activated and put on the active roster. We know he's not going to be playing in any games. That's already come out. But he was put on the active roster by Joe Douglas and the powers that be that run this franchise. Now, he did he did get put on to the active roster reluctantly. He did say that, they had discussions, and he basically told them, hey, I don't think I have to, practice to really continue to get my rehab finished and come out of it. And he said that, and they said, nah, you're going to be put on the active roster and you're going to be practicing, which makes sense, and I'm going to explain that in a second. Now, one of the reasons that he was reluctant, Aaron Rodgers, to be put upon the active roster is he knew that it would cost somebody a roster spot. And that person was Bawden, okay? They did release Bawden, but he was re-signed to the practice squad like a day or two later for the New York Jets. Done deal. He's back on the team. Keep in mind, his contract, his salary is fully guaranteed because he started the season with the Jets, so he didn't lose any money or anything. The guy that did get released, though, as a result of Bawden being put on the practice squad, was a guy named Kalon Barnes. Kalon Barnes moved on from him. He was a practice squad corner. Here's the deal. I respect Kalon Barnes, and I wish him nothing but the best in his future. But at the end of the day, what the New York Jets powers that be are looking at it as is they're saying, hey, we know that next year is a big year for us. Because if the New York Jets don't make the playoffs or don't see marked improvement, Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, and Nathaniel Hackett could all be fired. They could all be fired. Jets fans want them fired this year. All of them, okay? They know that the seat is very, very hot and it's going to get even hotter next year because Aaron Rodgers will be returning. They understand that, hey, this guy, even though, again, he's rehabbing, he's working through his rehab, we need to make sure that he continues to go out there and builds chemistry with the offense because a lot of the guys that are here right now will be returning next season. So they need to continue to go out there and build, continue to have him go out there and push guys and, just continue to learn each other and learn the offense and the ins and out because next year, nobody's going to want to hear these excuses at all, okay? At all, let me tell you. And again, we're already hearing stories about Aaron Rodgers going out there, lighting the defense up. Keep in mind, the Jets, I believe, have the best defense in the league, that he's lighting them up, and not only lighting them up, motivating, pushing them, and talking trash to them. And he's talking trash to him as well. I've heard he be talking crazy out there. So all of that is stuff that they want to continue on to build momentum going into the offseason and into the next season, all right? They know what's up. Believe me, they know what's up. So that's why this is done. Do I think this is a big deal? No, okay? I don't think it's a big deal at all. All due respect to Barnes, this is Aaron Rodgers. He's the crown jewel of our franchise. He's who we've been looking for years, okay? We've gone through quarterback after quarterback, all these issues. The New York Jets, we saw, even this season, have a top defense. This offense stinks, can't consistently get things done. We know that with Aaron Rodgers out there on that field, the offense is going to be vastly different next season. So they're like, hey, we need to continue that momentum and continue that heat. Because if we're talking about going in next year and winning Super Bowls, you have to have all your ducks in a row. All of them. Everything has to be focused, laser focused in on the ultimate goal. Okay? Because if it ain't, you're going to have some problems. You're going to fall off the rails. So that's why they activated and did that. So it's not a big deal to me, but to other people it is a big deal. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think about Duane Brown. Lastly, we're going to talk about the Jets-Browns quickly. Listen, Simeon will be the starter. We know that Zach Wilson's still dealing with the concussion situation. I am very concerned about this Jets offensive line going into this game. Myles Garrett is not a joke. That man is not funny at all. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league. I don't know how we're going to get him blocked. They also got the Smith, Zardarius Smith. He's a good pass rusher, too, for them. He'll get after it. They also got the guy they call Oko. I can't pronounce his whole name. It's like Okaparo or something. But he's a good player as well. These are all guys that get after it, man. Guys that get after it. I'm very concerned about the New York Jets being able to protect Simeon, okay? We've seen him get hit. He'll fumble. We saw that in the last game. Get stripped. He gets rattled. He'll throw an interception. Very worried about his protection. Very worried about it. The New York Jets have to run the football effectively, which is something that we've kind of been up and down with this season. If we become one-dimensional against the Browns, we're dead in the water. We're dead. Myles Garrett and those boys will pin their ears back and we'll be finished. You look defensively, the Browns are actually starting Joe Flacco because, they've had guys go down. They grabbed him up, brought him in, and he's been there, winning some games for him. Flacco is a stiff, though. Okay, he's a stiff. Our defense has to get after him. Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Quentin Williams, we got to get after him, man. Get guys in his face because we know that he's a statue in the pocket. He's not going to get away from any pass rusher. So once you start banging him around and make him feel uncomfortable, turnovers will follow. We know that. Because he played here. And we saw that, okay? We know that. So we have to get after Joe Flacco at all costs. Send blitzes if need be. Throw everything in the kitchen sink at that man, okay? Everything in the kitchen sink. Also, out there at wide receiver, you got Elijah Moore. They also got Amari Cooper as well. But Cooper, from everything that we're hearing, is like 50-50 to play tonight. It's at this point, it's kind of looking like he might not play, okay? But even if he does, that's another weapon we got to worry about. But again, it's looking like he's not going to play at this point, okay? He may be a game-time decision. Now, Elijah Moore is out there, too. We know Elijah Moore. He used to play with the New York Jets as well. But I tell you what, I'm excited to see Elijah Moore match up with a guy like Sauce or DJ Reed. I want to see these guys lock him down. He's a good player, right? He's a good player. But I think our corners will be able to take care of him and eliminate him from this game. Now, other weapons that they have I'm concerned about, Njoku, it's a good tight end. I'm very concerned about him as well. And they also got some backs, man. Ford is a good back. And these are guys that can come out the backfield and catch the football as well. Versatile guys. So we got to look at that. And I'm very concerned about them, taking advantage of our backers in that kind of situation, especially Njoku. That's a good tight end. Now, with that said, I'm going to take the Browns to win this game 23-14. 23-14, I'm taking the Browns. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I just don't think our offense is going to be able to do enough. I think our offense is going to put us in some situations where, it's constant 3 and outs because this defense is so tough, and eventually the dam is going to break, but it's going to be in the fourth, late. I think our defense is going to do work, but I just don't think our offense is going to put up enough, like we've seen in various games this year. So that's what I think is going to happen. 23-14, I'm taking the Browns. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about Duane Brown going on IR? What are your thoughts about Aaron Rodgers and the roster spot controversy? And what are your thoughts about the Jets versus the Browns? Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.